everybody, it's Sam Amico here with another edition of Hoops Wire Live on 330 to go. Thanks so much for joining. I am really excited that I have a special guest. I'm actually doing the show. We're doing the show today from the Full Court Cleveland studios in Cleveland. And I have a guy that I think I could safely call a friend. I think we're friends.
I would say at this point it was just say family. You know?
Family, that's right.
My brother from another. How
that's
you doing?
right, brother from another. It's Booby Gibson.
Yes, sir.
Joining us today, and we just spent about an hour talking Cavs on the Full Court Cleveland show, which of course you'll be able to see on the Big Play app as well as FanDuel Sports Network. Cleveland, Booby, right now. We're talking about the Cavs before the game in Philly. The other night probably looked like the best we've seen them all season, and a version of them that we all knew was there. Just what are your takeaways? Not just from maybe that game, but really, kind of the inconsistency leading up to that game.
Yeah, it was really refreshing to see them come out with so much attention to detail. When I saw the way they was moving the ball, guys was cutting hard, I was happy, but it made me just a little bit upset because I know we're capable of, and I know the level of this team. And it's a long NBA season, and we've had different lineups, but I think that if you want to start peaking, if you want to start heading in the right direction, now's the time. So we start talking about All-Star break being that point of reference where you want to say you want to start getting everything together. I would say that last Philly game was a step in the right direction. We just got to keep some consistency from that point.
Yeah. Well, I think good health obviously will help in that area. But you said on our show that obviously, you got to have that next man up mentality.
Yes,
so I think that the young guys have been delivering that. The Tysons, Tomlins, Craig Porter Jr.
Yeah, Porter Jr.
Who's I know is your guy. So,
yes, sir.
what have you seen from the young guys so far that you really like? Obviously, I might be leaving somebody out, but those three to me are really kind of.
Throw Tomlin in there, Merrill, the whole crew.
Right.
I just think that we hate injuries and we hate what the team has had to deal with all year long, but what it's done is given these guys an opportunity to show that they're real rotation players. Like Jalen Tyson has shown that you could put him out there in important minutes and he'll be impactful. Craig Porter Jr. has continued to show that every time you put this guy on the floor, he's going to be productive from all stat lines. And so I just think that what this season has shown is we have the depth, but we haven't been healthy long enough to be able to show that production on a consistent basis, because I feel like a lot of the bench guys are starting. You know what I mean? And so you can't really see it. But I think that as we get our cast of characters back together, praying for Darius' good health, once we get our cast of characters back together, we'll be able to see that. And like I said, last game kind of showed like what we're capable of doing, because even DeAndre Hunter was in his bag, and I know everybody was happy to see that last game. Yeah,
and if you look at how well like Jared Allen and Evan Mobley protected the basket, and that's they do that most games, but last game it was like through the roof because you had Joel Embiid out there, you had Paul George, you had Tyrese Maxey, so. I think that's, listen, they got Philly again tonight. They got Oklahoma City on Monday in Cleveland, and they got a Charlotte Hornets team that's been playing really well. So there's obviously a lot coming up that's kind of these barometers. And Charlotte, like I said, went into Los Angeles last night and blew the Lakers' doors off and beat the Jazz by 55 points on Sunday. So they're kind of pulling it together. This is just kind of the time of year where it's like, okay, we're, like you said on our show, kind of get in habits that you're forming for the playoffs.
It's like, I know people say this game don't count or that game is not as important, but if you talking about being a contender, you got to build certain habits. And those habits are every single game we come in with attention to detail defensively. And like you just said, when our twin towers are back there supporting each other, all that does is I saw Jalen Tyson pick up the ball at half 94 feet at half court. They get out there, you get out there and play defensively with a lot more confidence, knowing you have those guys back there. And so I just think that it was just really great to see us in that mode, attack mode, from tip on defense and offense. But now, to your point, I want to see the same attention to detail this game, knowing that Philly's going to hit back. I want to see the same attention to detail, knowing we're going to OKC, and this is a big game, right? MLK Day, everybody's for it. But then, to top it off, let me see the same attention to detail when you go into Charlotte, when you don't think it's the same level of game.
Right.
But those guys feel like they're coming into their own. So this would be a great 3-game stretch for us to see if we can stay consistent in the midst of injuries, in the midst of whoever's out there on the floor. And you know what I want to double down on? Evan Mobley's tenacity and Evan Mobley's mentality going into that last game. I believe he's our barometer. I believe when Evan has a certain type of chip or edge to him, the entire ball club does. So I think as far as Evan takes us.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are thinking that around the league.
Yeah.
You know, and a funny thing is, after the last game, right after that last game, the first thing Evan said was, man, was it Jared Allen something tonight? You know, I think that helps him.
That's him.
You know, if Jared's playing well, and or to your point, if Evan's got that kind of that toughness and that chip, that helps Jared, helps everybody. So
yeah, Twin Towers.
Hopefully
they need each other energy. You know, they kind of they work off of each other. And they play together so long. I think one just feels better when we got the other one. They twins now for sure, like Twin Towers.
Right. Yeah. Well, a lot of people probably. Actually, if they watch my show, they do know it because I always remind them that you and I came into the league at the same time.
Yeah.
Now, of course, obviously, I didn't get into the league, but you know,
yes, you did. We actually
were in the same locker room and practice facility.
That's what I'm saying. That means you got into the league. Hey, that's a tough thing. You know, they gatekeep that too. Everybody can't get in there.
I didn't. You know, it was something I wanted to do from a young age, and I didn't know. You know,
don't downplay
cover
it.
the NBA. That's a tough thing to get into.
Don't downplay it, because I know a lot of people that would love an opportunity to get into that locker room, get those exclusives, and not only that, develop relationships that the players trust. You one of those guys, so you've always been that way with me. Even while I played, after I played, you've always been a guy in the media where it can get a little tricky.
Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah, because you got to give the both takes, and so we got to be able to accept that, and we're not always able to.
Yeah, you know, and I appreciate that. You know, Mark Price, he has me on his podcast probably. I think I've been on there like 12, 15 times now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, do you know what it's like for a player to ask an ex-media member or a current media member to come on your podcast?
Yeah.
I mean, that's like unheard of.
For sure.
And he's like, yeah, but you kind of always seem like fair. And I'm like, I'm incredibly fair. I'm like over the top fair.
But you still have your takes too. You know, you still have your honest takes. I feel like you
try.
But you're still honest about the game and keep the integrity. That's what it's about.
Well, I think if you love the game, you know, that's really where it is. Is if you love the game, you're going to be fair all the time to it. Right. And if sometimes it might deserve toughness, you know, toughness. You're upset with the game or something about it. But I always try to remember, you know, we're all people, you know, and a lot of people don't. I don't want to talk about myself. I'd rather talk about you.
But I'm saying a lot of people don't think that about us basketball players, and a lot of people don't think that about the media, right? They think that when you're doing that job, like that's who you are, and they don't give you no grace in those moments. So,
well, if you think about like feedback I get sometimes on Twitter or whatever, it's like, well, this person may have had a bad day at work, and they're probably, you know, working a job that's difficult. My job's incredibly easy. I'm like, why would I ever be upset? But you know, sometimes I get it. So like I said, you don't get grace all the time, but sometimes it's like somebody's mad about something, they're a keyboard going after Amico or whatever.
Let them get it off.
Right.
Let them get it off. That's their
space. We kind of thought our rookie year in the NBA, we're going to the finals every year, right? This is how this works?
Right. Coming straight out the gate with that much success, kind of like, is this what the NBA is going to be? Like, you know what I mean? So that was definitely our intro to it. And in a city like Cleveland, like you really got to see the support and the love that you really have. But then you also got to see it, for me, in the coming years, where I realized it wasn't going to be you go to the finals every year, but the fans and the love never changed. The support of them being behind you in those moments never changed. So I think that's why I'm still here and we still hanging out. Since that first championship run, I was addicted to this city.
Yeah, well, and I said on our Full Court Cleveland show, you must be addicted to Cleveland. You're from Houston with this weather, and you choose to stay here, which I think, I mean, everybody who's a longtime Cavs fan and a fan of what you, what you do in the community, is glad that you're still around. I know I'm certainly glad that you're still around. And Ryan, who is producing the show, who produces Full Court Cleveland as well, and you can catch him on, it's called The Big Factor, right?
Yeah.
The Big Factor.
My boy
and other programming here on the Big Play Network. I don't know how I got off on a tangent about Ryan, but I wanted to give him love. He deserves love. So I appreciate you coming on, stopping by, and you said you'd like to come back sometime.
Yeah, you said something.
Most of my guests don't say that.
You said something about
never
friends,
call me
though.
again.
Nah, we family, including Ryan, man. So this is this home too. I like this chair, and if you got another place you shoot from, hit me. You know, I'm always shooting, but I mean, I'm honest about that. I do appreciate you taking the time, and I do feel like over the years we developed a friendship, man. So anytime you got the show going and you want to talk Cavs, hoops, anything, you know, I do a little rap freestyle, whatever you need. Just bring me in.
That's next week. Next week on the show, Booby will rap freestyle.
Give you a little freestyle Cavs breakdown for 26. Whatever you need, Sam, I got you.
Well, I appreciate that. Booby Gibson, everybody. Thanks for joining us so much on Hoops Wire Live on 330 to go, and we will talk to you